Hello everyone. My name is Alok Nath and I am a cybersecurity professional working in the field of cybersecurity for 12 years. So welcome to the series of CSSP reviews. Now one of the objective of making this particular video is when many people plan for a CSSP certification, the biggest challenge that everybody faces is what content should they go refer, or what books they should refer, and what should be their strategy, how much time they should invest, such questions. So this was the same thing which I faced. So my objective of sharing this is that this helps people to speed up the process for the preparation of their CISSP. So the first thing I would like to share is, if you are planning to go ahead with CISSP, you should make up your mind that what is the time frame you are looking for. You can go for a 3 months window, or you could go for a 6 months window, or you can go for a year also. Totally depends like how much time you want to give for the preparation and what is your skill set in the security field. So how much expertise you have. So that varies from people to people. But what I would suggest is, if you are looking for a 3 months, then definitely you should be looking forward that you are in putting up 8 to 10 hours every day or more than that. Now, if you have more commitments, like maybe your work is challenging and requires a lot of time, or you have other family commitments, then definitely I would suggest to go for 6 months. And if you can give 3 to 4 hours every day, then six months should be sufficient for you. And the most important thing, register for the exam. Because if you don't register it, it's basic human tendency that you won't put too much effort in it. If you want to get serious, or if you want to put your proper commitment to it, then you register it. Once you register it, you have already invested some funds into it, then you get the proper motivation. That investment is basically your motivation and creates a push for you to work hard to achieve your goal. And this is something anybody who has done the CISSP will tell you. The first thing you should do is register for the exam. So let's go ahead. Now, I did the CISSP for me. I took 2 months initially, but 2 months was quite a short window. So again, I extended it for another 1 month. So you should, the minimum, you should keep minimum 3 months, because it's very vast. So to cover it, unless you don't know like how exactly you need to study, what you need to study, then it becomes a challenge to cover everything in 2 months or 1 month. So the ideal time I would suggest is keep 3 months or more than that. Now I will be sharing a couple of tips and tricks that really help me to speed up the process of the preparation. Now, for my preparation, I used the CISSP official Cybex book, and a couple of more materials I used. I will be sharing ahead in the video. Now, the trick that really helped me is because working in IT, and I was out of practice of reading books. So it's very difficult task to read a book for 2000 or 1500 pages. We are not in the habit of it usually. So how do we go ahead with it? So what I followed is I had the CISSP book as in the Cybex one. I studied the book as well, and in Adobe there is an option that you can set the PDF to read the content to you. So I used mix of both. I used to read the book, but when it became a bit lengthy, then I would switch on to the audiobook or play the audio from the PDF. Now for that, I believe all you have to do is set up a small plugin in your Windows, okay, whichever version of Windows you are using. You can Google it how to set it up. And if you have the PDF version of the book, all you have to do is right click, and from the properties, just example I can show. So all you have to do is so you need to check whether in the advanced, the protected mode or something like that is enabled. So for me, I have already removed the protected mode, so it's not showing for me. So all you have to do is remove the PDF file protected mode, and then you need to enable the read through option. So just example, I have this book. Okay, I just go anywhere in the middle. Say I want to study from here. So I go to the options. You will have an option of a read out aloud. So first, once you have configured it, you need to activate the read out aloud. So you will have to install some specific small plugins in your Windows, and you can select a different voice, like it could be a male voice or it could be a female voice, whichever you like, or different language. You could select if you have your different language, you can select different languages, French or Spanish or anything. So just example, I initiated it, and then I will go down, read out aloud, read this page only.
Organizational concept such as the
So it's reading through.
research department or a development project is defined only.
Now the pace, how speed or how slow it is going to read is something you can set it up accordingly. If you are a person who can go ahead at a very high pace, then definitely you should go ahead with it. But somebody who listens at a very slow pace, you can set up for a slow pace. Now this is one trick that really helped me. So there are a few more tricks I will be sharing as I go ahead. Now the next trick that really helped me is whenever I was going through the audio or video or anything, what I used to do is I used to take a picture of the content. So typically I did not do it for the PDFs or book. I did it for some of the notes or some of the video content I was using, and I felt that, okay, this is something important I should remember. So I would take a pic from my mobile of the computer screen. You can see something like this, very similar. So I've used multiple materials. Okay, so this is something I should remember. I took it. Now, this is something I should remember. So I took a quick picture of it. So now I just, this is something I and like, for example, what is tailgating? What is piggybacking? So I took the picture and it was in my mobile. So just couple of clicks, like what are the small terms I should remember? This is something I took the picture. Okay, this is not the complete list, but different contents, different material. So I took the pictures, and so what really helped me is that I took the pic, it was in my mobile. Okay, so what I did is, as I went through different contents, uh, I kept preparing the handwritten notes, plus I kept taking the pictures. So what really helped is when I used to get a small short frame of duration, like if I'm having a lunch, or if I'm waiting for a cab, or if I'm traveling, then at those particular time, I used to just quickly go through all the pics that I have taken. So it used to give me a quick go through of entire content, or the all the important things that I felt I should remember. And so if I go through it once, yeah, I revised it in between. Then next, whenever I used to get a time, I would quickly go through it. So this is something that really helped me. And this is something I would definitely suggest everyone to definitely try. And this is something that really helped for revision also. So I had all the important topics and important things that I had picture in my mobile, and it was portable. So wherever I used to go, I used to just quickly browse through the mobile with my fingertips and go through it one by one. So this really helped me. Now, there is another one more trick I will definitely share with you. Now, when you're going through the Cybex, or in my case, I went through the Cybex, or if you have a Sean Harris, then register, you have the book. So if at the last page, you will see that you can go and register your book on the online platform. And online platform, you can very easily access it. Now, when you are going through the book, or when you are reading the PDF, then while practicing the question, you need to read the explanation, or you need to go through the book. So basically, when you read the question, you go back to the last page and you go through the answer. So that becomes, that takes a lot of time. So to save on that particular time, what you can do is you can register here on the Cebex while online, and you can register for the book. Now you can practice all your questions here. So very simple example, like I had the book, I had two books, so I registered for the CSSP practice test, or the Cybex version. So I just registered and I clicked on the test bank. It took me to, it will take me ahead to the interface where I can use it. Hold on a minute. It's loading. Now I have a quick quiz builder here. So I can select a study mode or exam mode. So I can select the questions or the chapters, and I can quickly set up as a quiz. So yeah, I can take a quiz, I can select any option. It will show me like why it is wrong, and you can go through the explanation and everything. But this reduces your time. Okay, so in the book you need to go back, go through the pages, and then uh, read each and everything. but here you have a window interface and it's far easier. So I will definitely advise you to use this. So this reduces your time. And one more important thing that you need to definitely do is practice question. You should definitely practice all the questions that are behind after each chapter or each domain, whichever book you refer. So that will give you an idea about how to go ahead with what is the strategy when you plan to go ahead with the question, solving the question, and gives you a familiarity with the language. So the strategy what I followed is I went through all the questions, and in between of each content, like suppose I'm going through the Cybex book. So once I have completed the Cybex book, I practiced all the questions set uh, that were within the Cybex book or any other book. So practice at least 300, 400 or 500 questions before you jump into the next content. Like if you have completed Cybex, and you want to go for some another book or some another video content, then practice all the questions. So that's just a quick overview for the Cybex one. Now let's go ahead and I'll share you a few more inputs. Like now the question will arise, okay, there are a lot of contents for CSSP. Okay, there are a number of video contents, audio content, books. So it doesn't matter which one you refer unless and until you understand the concept. So what I did is I went through each and every content in one go. Basically, like when I started one video, I will complete from that particular video content. Then I will practice another 500, 700 questions, and then I will jump to the next content. So just to give a quick overview, like, okay, so let me share like what resources are available there so that it gives you a quick overview, like what things are there. So in the picture you can see there are a lot of contents. Okay, you can practice it, you can go through it. Now if you can look, there are in the books section you have Cybex, AIO. Then you have other books also, Wenjuwu, Luke Ahmad, 11th Hours, CBK. There are a lot of books. Okay, so what a strategy I did is I went through the Cybex once. I used the audio playback in PDF as well. And I practiced all the questions that was there, the question set. Then I moved to the another book. So typically Cybex is what is I went through it. Then the next what I did is I created a shorthand for it. So everything what is there in the Cybex, I created a shorthand for them, each and every topic in a very short form. Okay, very, very short form. Just if you have read the book, if you read through this shorthand, you'll understand, okay, this is what is in the content. So the next time, so basically I reduced the book into basically 93 or 100 pages. And the next time if I had to go through the book, I just went through this particular shorthand. So I went through the book once, created the shorthand, and went through the shorthand one or two, I think 2 times. So this was more kind of initial to go through each and everything and get me more comfortable with the concepts and everything. Now, one thing I would definitely like to tell you, don't try to mug up things, okay? You don't need to worry too much about what ports are there or exactly the terms. Okay, this is what is this, okay? Or the port number, how it, what port is used for what. So don't focus on the too much technical aspect, okay? I will be covering more it in detail, so that will give you more idea on it as I go through. Now let's come back to the resources. So the first step is go through the book, the main books, Cybex and AIO. So what I did is Cybex, I went through it, and AIO, I just referred the concepts like which I did not understand in Cybex. I just went to those topics and I went through and read through for a better understanding. Then I jumped to the video contents. So in the video contents, I went through the Thor Pedersen videos that are on Udemy. So his videos are really good, to the point, and very nice. And then I practiced Thor Pedersen, all the questions that were behind the videos, plus the medium and easy questions, plus Thor hard questions. So I went through all the questions. So remember this, when you start one content, try to complete the questions as well when you go through it. And when before you switch to some another content, try to practice 400, 500 questions and then go ahead. So everybody will advise you, and I will also advise you to practice minimum 6 to 7K questions. Because when you practice 6,000 to 7,000 questions, that will give you a more understanding, like good feeling of the language that the questions will come in the exam, and it will give you more visibility into how you should develop your thought process to select the right answer for the exam. So there are a lot of contents you can go. So for me, I went through the Thor Pedersen videos on Udemy. Then I went through Prav Nair videos that are, you can go to Prav Nair's site, and he has got some very good contents there. Then you have got Prav Nair videos for CSSP, that is really good, and his coffee shots really helps. It trains your mind, like how should you go ahead with it. Then there is video from Sari Green. Then you have Kelly Henderson's video as well, and you have destination certification videos that are in YouTube. Destination certification videos are really good. You should definitely watch it. I watched it 2 times. First in mid of my preparation, and just 2-3 days before the exam as well. It's very clear. The concepts are very nicely explained. You should definitely go through it. Now, that is for the contents of the video. Now let's go ahead. Once you have been through all the videos that you can find, then you should definitely practice questions. Okay, so there are other contents like for practice question, you can try the Cybex editions. It could be second, third, or editions in the web browser mode or online mode, because that really speeds up your practice. And one more very important thing, whether you select the right answer or the wrong answer, just read the explanation. Why this question is right, you should read it. Why this is wrong, you should definitely read it. And as you go along, there are a couple of tips and tricks how to remember the tricky terms. So Those also I will be sharing in my GitHub repo. You can refer it and you can definitely use them to remember it. Now remember, the CSSP exam is non-technical. It focus as a manager, how will you look at the things or how will you solve a problem. So the technical aspects of the things, you don't have to worry about it. As a manager, what is the decision you will take? Or as a senior guy, what is the decision you will take? That is how you should go ahead with. And the language is something you should, when you go through all the contents and language, you start seeing a similarity or a pattern and you get more accustomed to different languages. So this also helps you a lot. Now there are a lot of other contents. For me, I practiced close to 8,000 questions. I practiced all the, yeah, definitely I would suggest you to go through the Luke Ahmed content. So Luke Ahmed videos, I just referred for the topics I needed more clarity on, and his questions were really good. So I practiced Luke Ahmed question, as you can see here, the hard questions. You should definitely practice the Luke Ahmed study notes and theory questions. Those are really good. You should definitely go through it and read all the explanation. Then you have got boson. There are 5 sets. I did not go through all of them, but I went through 3 or 4 sets. Then Thor Peterson, I went through all the easy, medium, and hard questions, all of them. Then I went through the civics question, and I practiced the Adam Gordon. So Adam Gordon, if you go to his LinkedIn profile, he has close to 600-700 questions that he shares in his post. So you can quickly go through them and you can see the answer as well. That is also a good option to practice. And there are a lot of other contents you can find to practice, okay, for the questions. So on a high level, you can refer this particular diagram and you'll get an idea like, okay, what you should go through it. Now I will go ahead. So basically most of the stuff that I have here, I will be sharing it on my GitHub, except for the PDF books and everything, because those have got copyright on them. And definitely you, being a CSSP guy, you should buy them. So I'll just share. So now going through different contents, I went through the videos, I went through the book, I practiced the questions. Now there are a few more contents that I will just quickly give you an overview about. Now there are a couple of CSSP cheat sheets. You can check for, the first one is Comparitech. This one is really good. I really liked it because it was precise within 8 pages and it captured everything. So you should definitely go through it. I went through it 3 times before the exam, and just before the exam also I revised it multiple times. So it's very compact. It gives you a very quick revision about each and everything that you should remember, and it's really good. So now you have got a couple more cheat sheets, okay? Like you have CSSP process guide. I went through it twice, but my overview is that I went through it once or twice, but if somebody says if you prefer some another review guide, I would prefer that. So for the last moment, I used different thing, but yeah, all the content that you find, you should definitely go through it once, even though you know everything, because you will come across different term or different language for the same thing. And that really matters. A very simple example, session key is also called as ephemeral keys. Now, if you don't know what is ephemeral key, you won't understand the question. So when you go through different material, you will know different terms for the same thing or the different language for asking the very same thing. And that is something that really help you in the exam. Now there are a lot of contents here. Okay, so I will just share the ones which I really liked and I went through it. Now CSSP mind map, yeah, you have it on YouTube. So destination certification, YouTube. What I really did is you can use PyTube or any other Git repo hub to download the videos because the advertisement, everything becomes annoying. So I used a Python script to download the entire uh, collection, and I went through it. I copied it in my mobile. So whenever I used to travel, I would just go through the videos, and in the free time, I would go through the videos whenever I could. And the content is really good, so I would definitely say go through it. Now, coming to the section of CSSP book, CSSP Cebex official, yeah, definitely you should go through it. Then AIO, I referred it for Sean Harris. I had some old version, 9th edition, and some old editions, but I referred it only for the topics which I did not understand. 11th hour, I went through it only once. The language was good. It was a bit short and it really helped. But I only went through it initially once, not more than that. Now you have got How to Think Like a Manager, Luke Ahmed book. So this helps you to develop a mindset like how you should answer the question. So definitely you should go through it. For me, I did not have the time, so I did not go through Luke Ahmed book. So these are the contents of the book. So this much I referred. Now these are the notes. So notes for different places. You have Netflix. You can find it on LinkedIn. His notes are really good. So I collected notes from different places, and always remember whatever content you have, at least go through it once from start to end. Okay, because that gives you a perspective or a different new language for the same question. So these are the different things, C-Secure, and there are a lot of notes here. So I just went through each one of them only once. Now the CISSP notes are the notes which I collected from different places, and a couple of them I edited and added a few of my notes as well. So you can refer it and use it as per your need, or you can create your own notes. Prav Nair coffee shots, yeah, definitely you should go through it. And he shares snacks, yeah, definitely you should remember the snacks. So you can go through his site as well, and you can go through the YouTube video which he has shared. Now Kelly Henderson, I did not use it, okay, because I couldn't get it was a paid membership and I couldn't get the video. The only thing is I got the book. I referred it once. Now exam cram, I went through it once. Now we have exam topics. exam topics, I definitely went through the questions. The explanation was not good. So, but the questions were good. So you just get an idea and you can reveal the solution and see, okay, how much the people voted for it. But the explanations were not good. Only thing you need to worry about is what is the correct answer. If you feel like, okay, if you are not selecting the correct answer, then maybe you should think of a different way of logic, like what logic you should apply for this particular answer. So just go through the questions. That is what I would suggest. And if whatever questions you can find online, go through it. And if you have a explanation, go through the explanation. Now I have few more important terms and notes which I created. Now going through different contents, there could be duplicate as well. So I tried my best to uh, reduce the duplicates that are there and keep it as clean as possible. Now, one more thing I would definitely like to share with you guys is uh, there are a couple of you have one as a Luke Ahmed SNT group in Facebook. I would definitely tell everyone to join it, because if you need some inputs, people are there. They can share you more, like what is the right way and what is the right what should be the right thought process for a specific question. They definitely help you. Okay. Now, apart from that, you have a lot of groups in Telegram. So you have got CSSP. There are a lot of CSSP groups in Telegram. Okay. And if you are looking for some resources, you can look into the file section. So you can click on the files, you can get a lot of PDF and all of things. So you can get a lot of PDF, text files, photos, images. So that also helped me a lot for collecting the contents. But again, you find a lot of content, so you have to figure out that, okay, how which ones are duplicate and which ones you need to go through. So I tried my best to collect all of them at one place. Now, flashcards, I just went through the flashcards to go through the different terms. Okay, you should definitely know the keywords. Okay, like what is MTBF or what is RTO. You should have the when you keep going through the contents again and again, then after some time you get used to the terms. It's just like when you go move into a new town, when you start roaming there again and again, you start to get a feel about the things and you start remembering it. So you keep learning the terms slowly after the multiple goes for different contents or different material when you go through it, and then you don't really have to mug them up or remember or learn them. It's just like it will automatically come to you. Now we have, and there are a couple of few notes that I really like Mad Unix notes. Okay, so just a small notes that are there. Then what are different attack vectors in one page? That definitely helps you to revise. And then you have chart or graphical diagram for different things. I did not refer it, to be frank, but yeah, it's entirely up to you. Like if you like it, then definitely you can use it. So a few more of mindset. Then you have Pravnaya notes. Yeah, definitely I will tell you to go through these notes. Okay. and the practice test. So practice as much as question you can. So Boson, I did practice it, but I found it like it was a bit technical. But it's very good to test your skills. Okay, like you have went through different material. Are you clear on the concept? So once you practice it, you get an idea that okay, which section you are feeling that okay, I'm weak. So that is something you need to revise, or you need to go through the context. Then CISSP official practice test. Yeah, definitely you should go through them. Then there are a few more questions. I did went through exam cram 5th edition, 4th edition, and 3rd edition. But I found it a bit more technical. But yeah, the language which I found there did help me a bit. And you have Sean Harris practice questions and Venchu also. So definitely you should practice them. Now you have got Prashant Mohan Palace. Now this is very good. I'll definitely say you go through it multiple times. I went through it 3 times while I was going through all the materials. And before the exam, I went through it almost 4 times. It's really good and it covered each and everything in a very nice way. So you should definitely go through it. Now you have got Luke Ahmed. Yeah, Luke Ahmed videos. Videos are basically no, I would say, as he's a networking professional. So if you want more uh, in-depth explanation in networking concepts, his networking concepts are really good. Now that is something you should definitely keep in mind. Like, see, whenever you are going through different materials for different, basically different providers or different people. So for me, being suppose I am a cybersecurity consultant and I do pen test. So for me, understanding the pen test concept is very easy. Now, somebody who has worked in the networking side of security, they can very easily explain you the network concepts. So each and every person who is giving us SSP training, no matter who it is, whether it is a Luke Mehmed or Prav Nair or Kelly Henderson or anyone, so everybody has some exposure and some field they have worked on it. So that is their strong field. So if you go through different people's content, they will explain those concepts very nicely. So that is the reason why you should go through all or whatever you could get your hands on, all the videos that you can find. So somebody explains security in a very nice way, like security networking, very nice way. Somebody has pen test in a very nice way. So the different content you go through it, that will help you a lot. Now, just couple of contents. So I already covered the Telegram part. You can find a lot of contents in the file section, screenshots. You can ask questions to people. They can help you out. You have Facebook channel for SNT, study notes and theory, Facebook channel. You can go through them also. Now, this is just a quick overview, like what contents you should go through and how you should go through. Now, the strategy I followed is I went through each and everything, practiced the question, and before 20 days of the exam, I had small notes for each and every content. So I went through only this before 20 days before the exam. So max I took is 1 week to go through each and everything. once I went through it, and 10 days before the exam, I went to the Comparitech cheat sheet. This really helped me. Yeah, Prashant Mohan notes, that is Memory Palace, that is really good. I went through it multiple times. Sunflower document also, I went through it, but I went through it only once before the exam. And before the exam, I went through destination certification videos because it's very it helped me because the language was very simple, and for a revision perspective, I really liked it. So that is basically from the perspective of the content and the resources and how to go through it and all those stuff. Now let's come to the part where now you are near the exam and you have to go for the exam. So what strategy did I use for answering the questions in the exam? Okay, so the first point that you should really know when practicing or when attempting the exam is read the question along with the answer 2 times or minimum 1 time. Read the question, each and every word carefully, and read each option carefully. So what I did is I read the entire question and all the 4 options. Then again, I read the entire question and then I read all the options, which one will work for it. Because lot many times there will be one word or something that will change the small thing that will change the entire concept of the question itself. So definitely you should look for it. Now, once you have went through it, the second thing is try to remove 2 options out of the 4 questions, 4 options you have. So every question will have 4 options. So if you try to match the answers, you can remove 2 out of them. So the likelihood of um, two answer that you have is 50-50 chance. So first what I would do is I'll read through the questions, I'll go through them 2 times, and then I will try to remove two options. So I will be left with only 2 options. Now out of the 2 options, then what I will go ahead with is which is the high answer. Okay, so when I say high answer, so something that is related to the process improvement or that creates a process, that is a very high answer. Or something that is creating a policy, that is a high answer. Or something that is meeting the business objective, or you are creating something related to business, that could be a high answer. That is one thing. Now in case where I did not find, okay, I was not able to figure out like, okay, which is the high answer, then I would go ahead with, okay, out of the 2 answer, which is the non-technical answer. So out of the 2 option, whichever is less technical and which is more technical. So I will exclude the more technical one and I'll go with the non-technical answer. So that this helped me a lot. Now there will be a couple of questions where I came across that, okay, all the options were like the 4 options, whatever I got, there were a lot of similarity between them. So if I select one answer, the other answer also meant the very same thing in a different language. So in that case, what I would do is I will select the odd man out. Okay, the three answers are matching or are all almost on the same lines. And the odd man out is the 4th one. So definitely I should go with that. So that also helped with me with a couple of the questions. Now there is one more thing I did check if the answer, all the 4 options that you have, if it has a keyword that is within the question, then there could be a chance that it could be the answer. It's not always right, but there is a high likelihood. So I would definitely always look for if the keyword is there in the answer. If it is there, then I will see, and then next I will see, okay, if the keyword is there, then it could be there. Then I will go through the logic of the question and see, okay, does it really match it? If to some extent if matches, then definitely I will go for that. Now, you need to, while preparing, try not to focus too much on remembering the port numbers, all the technical stuff. Okay, like you should know the process. When I say process, like, okay, I'll ask you, how does if an incident happens, what is the first step that you will take, or what is the process, or what are the steps that you will follow? Or another could be, okay, when I say you TLS, you should know how at the back end at how TLS works. Or if I say Kerberos, then you should know how Kerberos work. If I say TCP handshake, you should know how TCP handshake works. If I say encryption, you should know, like, okay, what are the encryptions? Whether these are the encryptions that are symmetric, and these are the encryptions that are asymmetric, and how many keys are used in which one. What is the difference between digital signature and digital certificate? Why they are used? So you should know those kind of logic. You should know like in which layer of what kind of packets are used, where frames are used, where segments are used when data is going through the network. Then you should know, like, in which layer what kind of devices work. So you should know all those stuff. And yeah, definitely you should know the language definitely helps, and you should know the terms. So the only way you can be comfortable with the language and the terms is when you practice more and more questions. So the more number of questions you practice, always just read through the answer, whether you have answered it correct or incorrect, because that will give you a language. It will give you some explanation in a language that you might come across. And one more important thing is, whenever you are practicing the question, don't try to practice the same set again, because it doesn't help. So if you're practicing a set, go through it once and read all the answers. Once you are done, go ahead with another set. There is no point of repeating the same question. And the most important thing, you should definitely, before the exam, practice question in a time bound manner. So lock yourself in a room, sit there without a break, set up a timer for 3 hours, and practice the question without any distraction, without a break. Because in the CSSP exam, you are going to sit there for 3 hours. Make up your mind that you have to sit there for 3 hours. And if you don't practice it, it's become very difficult to sit there with full concentration to solve all the questions. So sit there, practice for 3 hours, because initially for me, sitting for 1.5 hours was difficult. But as I said, I created a slot that, okay, I will be sitting for 3 hours for practicing question, and that practice 10-15 days before the exam really helped me. Because if you don't practice it, you won't have the idea, or you won't have the focus mind to sit for 3 hours. Okay, so that is the overview about my CSSP journey. Hope this really helps you guys. Okay. And I will be sharing a couple of contents on my GitHub link, which I will be sharing in the comment section. And if you need any help or if you have any queries, definitely you can reach me out on my LinkedIn profile. I will share my LinkedIn profile as well in the comment section. And best of luck.